Hey guys, so I'm so excited to be here at the Sweet Whisk, and we've been using the Sweet Whisk and their products, and they're absolutely amazing for about a year now since we found them. And we decided to come and take a little behind the scenes tour of how they make their incredible goodies. And then also we have a surprise for you guys of how we're gonna actually be partnered with them and give back to the community. So Kenny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Thank you. So I love all of everything that you do.
Oh, thank you.
And I would love to know how you do it. So can you kind of show me how that
Sure,
works?
absolutely. Well, the bonbon process is 2 to 3 days.
Oh my God, I don't know how you guys do it.
Yes. First, we start off by polishing the molds, and these are the molds right here that we use, Chocolate World molds. We polish these, and you have to polish them really well. That's how we get that super shine on our bonbons, which kind of separates us from everybody else. Once they're polished, I decorate, and usually some of the tools that I use to decorate, I have my airbrush here. I'll use different paint brushes. We use colored cocoa butters that we get, and then we'll do different designs to kind of match the flavor, and then sometimes we'll kind of try to throw people off a little bit. After we're done painting them, we'll go over to the chocolate machine. This is our Selmy. This is an automatic tempering machine. This kind of takes out a lot of work for us as far as tempering goes. So we'll shell them with this, and then once they get shelled, we'll fill them with a ganache. And then the ganache is another process. That's why this process takes so long. So we'll ganache them. We'll make our ganaches, and then we'll fill the shell. And then after that has set up, which usually takes about 24 hours, we like to let it sit, and then we'll put the bottom onto them. And then that'll need to set as well. And then we'll pop them out and look at them, and then there's our beautiful bonbons.
Do you ever get like tired of tasting chocolate? Because I feel like you're like Willy Wonka.
Oh,
Like, how does
never.
that work?
Never get tired of tasting chocolate. It's such a love and such a passion. Like, I believe everybody has their moment with chocolate. Like, it's just something that you want. Unless you're allergic, you got to have a piece of chocolate.
No. This is our moment right here. This is bringing the Karyn Reece show to like chocolate world. This is
Yes.
awesome. So thank you for joining me. And now Karyn is going to be with Amanda and kind of go into all different stuff and what we're doing with you guys for August and September.
All right, that sounds great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're no fun. You know, I have to say, haven't ever tasted it, as good as it does today at your place. This is like the best. Tell us a little bit about all your delicious goodies.
So we actually source our chocolate from a company called Valrhona. It's one of the top chocolate manufacturers in the world. They're based out of France. And then they source all of their cocoa from around the world as well. They're a certified B Corporation, which means that they are very into sustainability for the farmers, as well as like the land and stuff like that around the world. So we definitely strive. We use Valrhona for everything that we do in the shop. It's a very high quality product. It's some of the best chocolate that we've ever tasted. So that's why we also use it for all of our products as well. We have an assortment of flavors for bonbons. We like to, have a variety of options for everybody. Not everybody likes just straight chocolate. Everybody likes, more of like the fruity flavors. So we try to have an assortment of everything on hand at all times. We have like our original 12 flavors, which is something like Death by Chocolate, which is very popular, which is like right.
Funny fitting.
Yeah.
Trying to tell me something.
A dark chocolate on the outside, and then a milk chocolate ganache on the inside. And then one of our other most popular flavors is salted caramel, which is a salted caramel ganache made with a milk chocolate. And then we also have some fun flavors like passion fruit, which is a very, very powerful passion fruit flavor. It's very fruity, very fragrant. Definitely like kind of throws you back when you eat that one, So we definitely have an assortment of flavors to appeal to everyone. So. And then we recently just did a order for a winery that wanted to do a pairing with their wine and chocolate. So we did some custom flavors for them as well.
Oh my God, that really is heaven on earth. Oh my God, I can't take it anymore. Any other upcoming types of things that you're going to be doing, or newer types of bonbons?
So we like to switch up our seasonal flavors. So we have our original line, which is about 12 to 13 flavors. And then we have about 5 or 6 flavors that we switch up seasonally. So right now during the summer, we have some summer flavors. And then in the fall, we'll switch over to do like some fall flavors, like pumpkin spice or cookie butter. And then, of course, for the holidays, like Christmas, we'll do like peppermint and stuff like that.
Oh my God, every day's a holiday, I've got to say. And I do see a rainbow of bonbons in your future and actually in my future. Great time to be here. Anyways, well, thank you so much for sharing your wonderful business with us and your artesian, the best. I'm telling you, the best bonbons. Delish. Bon appetit.
Welcome back to the Karyn Reece Show. We are so excited to have a very special guest with us. She was just on The Hustler on ABC, which is how I found her, and I'm so excited to have her with us. And she's an author. She is such an amazing businesswoman, and we are so excited to have Allison Jones with us here. Allison, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. I'm great, and I'm so excited to be here with you today.
So you were very open to saying that you grew up very poor and that was your lifestyle. And you're kind of proud to say that because you're no longer in that position. But what are some of the toughest lessons that you've learned? I mean, you kind of touched on this before, but toughest lessons you've learned since, you've gone from that to this now?
Well, I think the biggest lesson that I've learned over and over again until I finally figured it out, because I'm of the thinking, I'm a manifester, and I'm of the thinking that so you speak it, so it shall be. And so the universe kept sending me the same problem over and over again. And one of those things was a harsh lesson on not listening to my gut. And that was a very hard thing because particularly in business, you're not working solo. You're working with teams, cohorts, opinions. I was always in male dominated fields. And so I think a big part of it was I'm the baby of 7. And so by the time I came along, my parents were of a certain age and I was kind of left to my own devices a bit. And so I gained a sense of independent thought very early. And another thing for me, to be totally honest, I come from the South Side of Chicago, which the world is familiar. They call it Chirac for a reason. The impetus actually for me leaving for the military, my sister was actually murdered. When I was 17, she was 23. And so for me, it was just one of those things where I said, I got to get out. This isn't for me. And so when I was a young girl growing up, where other people were cutting class to kind of have fun and hang out, I was at museums. I was fascinated with the world. I knew there was so much more out there than what I had seen or what I had been exposed to. And so I think that is really the gap for me. I had teachers who spoke into my life and assured me that I was going to do great things and be a great success in my life. And so when you have people like that who believe in you and you get to see that there's a big world out there, bigger than you can imagine, it became my fuel. It was my rocket fuel. It was like, I want to see it. I want to be a part of it. I want to breathe it in. I want to smell it and taste it, And so that's what I did. I took on the thinking that, what? If you want something different, you have to do something different. And that's basically how I've lived.
I love that.
That's a beautiful way of looking at your life and going through life, being true to yourself and really considering all the obstacles that could have blurred your ability or distracted you, staying focused, being on point, and like you said, listening to yourself.
So we've recently seen you on The Hustler. So excited to see my girl when I watched the episode. I was like, that's her. Yes.
It was so much fun.
Yay. So that's like my next question of like, how was it like on The Hustler? And then also like $1 million question, how is it with Craig Ferguson? Because that's like the biggest thing.
Oh my God. Well, the entire experience, it's definitely something I will never forget. It was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had. Craig Ferguson is hilarious.
You
I
were
used
so
to-
funny with him. The banter you guys had was
Oh
so
my
fun.
God. And the stuff that they cut, you can't, I tell you, Alex, you can't even imagine the stuff that they cut. I mean, Craig and I had these inside jokes, and boy, does he have a raunchy sense of humor. And I can meet it easily. So I'm sure they had to cut a whole lot out. But the experience was wonderful because, you know, one of my positions in the government was an investigator. And it was humbling because part of my job as an investigator of waste, fraud, and abuse was I had to know how to read people. And so for me to end up not reading correctly who the hustler was, oh man, you want to talk about a moment? I was like, really? How could you do this to me, man? But honestly, I have to say, I got a chance to speak with the winner afterwards, and he is an extraordinary human being who is going to do amazing things in this world for his young age and ability. And if I had to lose, I'm happy I lost to him because he definitely deserves it.
Oh, you are such an amazing
I love
person.
her. Literally, I
Honest
spoke to her for
God.
so long. And I was like, wow, I went way over on this casting.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
the world's collided for a reason,
I
I have
know.
to say. So, what's another thing on your bucket list, or one thing in particular that you haven't done that you really are compelled to do, that you, no matter what, you could be on your deathbed and you'd be saying, God, I still have to do this?
I'm going national. That's it. That's the next thing for me. I'm going national. There is no limit. I believe that, you know, everything I've ever wanted to manifest for myself, I've manifested. I recently, a few months ago, I decided to have a summer of sexy because I retired I wanted to manifest retiring at the age of 50. I retired at the age of 47. And so I always said, I'm going to travel and I'm going to do this and that. And I got to Arizona and started working again. I became a professor and I contracted for about a year. And I never quite settled down. I'm still young enough and, you know, still got some stuff going on in my brain. So I said, okay, well, I don't know if I'm finished. And so I never really quite devoted myself to retirement. And so I said, you know, I'm going to give myself one summer to just dip it, do it, whatever I want to do. And that's what I've been doing before I get back to work of promoting the book. But after that, my eyes are on national exposure for the book, for my message to people, my message to women specifically about ownership of personal power. I want to be able to speak into people's lives in such a way that they know that they're fully capable and competent and they were meant to be here and that they need to try and find their purpose so that they can live their lives in purpose, on purpose. And so I think that's my vision. It's always been my vision. I've always been kind of a teacher of sorts in some capacity or another. And I think that from a national stage would be, you know, a continuum for me.
It's coming. You don't even need a psychic to tell you that. It's coming.
Smartest.
It's true. It's coming.
We'll talk afterwards. Right.
Okay, now.
So where can our audiences find a little bit more about you if they want to purchase the book or just you in general?
Well, I am on theallisonjones.com. You can find me there. You can find the book on amazon.com for digital copies, Measure Twice, Cut Once, Navigating Negativity in Toxic Relationships. And you can also get a copy at Barnes & Nobles. If you want a hardcover, you can go ahead and buy it at Barnes & Nobles. It's on sale.
Awesome. Allison, thank you so much for joining us.
You're so welcome. Thank you, ladies. It's been a pleasure spending time with you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Karyn Reece Show. As always, anytime Karyn's around, Spirit's around. So if you would like to win a reading with Karyn to hopefully connect with your past loved ones or hear about your future, you can do so by either writing it on our website at www.karynreece.com, spelled KarynReece.com. You can also send us an email at Karyn and then the little @ KarynReece.com, or on Facebook at Karyn Reece Psychic Medium, or on Twitter and on Instagram at Karyn Reece. Make sure that you put your first and last name, email address, phone number, and why you deserve to win a reading in your submission. So we have a very lucky winner with us who wrote to us on Instagram. Jake, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing fantastic. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm so excited, honestly, to just be experiencing this. This is my first time, so.
Awesome! Awesome! Yes!
I'm like, woo!
I got a lot of people coming in, including some grandparents. Is there a Rob or a Bob connection? Is this a family member or somebody you're connected to? Who's it that Grandpa's talking about? Is this like an uncle?
Yeah, so actually my grandfather, his name was Robert, but we went by Bob. He recently passed in February.
You know what? I started to see February. That's Bob. He says, tell him Bob, tell him Rob. You know he's here. You cannot make this up. It wasn't Rob, Bob. He knows. I'm laughing at that. Your grandfather said, I'm so proud of you. And he says, you got great things ahead. And you made me very proud as a grandfather to have you in my life. And he said, you're an amazing man, Jake. And also he said, oddly enough, you're a healer in this lifetime. So you heal with your words, with your music, with your artistry. You just have that knack about you. So as you go through life, people will respond to you in maybe a way that you're not expecting, but in a positive way. Wow, that's really interesting that you say that, or wow, that music really touches my soul. FYI, and by the way, your grandpa has visited you since he has transitioned, and he said he's doing quite well. I said, are you behaving yourself, Bob? He goes, hell no. Looks like Grandpa knows how to have a good time. He says, let everybody know it's fun over here. They had a big party when Grandpa transitioned. He goes, too bad you couldn't have been there. He says, but it's not your time yet. It would have been great. Did you make a switch with like a band or something? Or have you switched like to a new band? Are you working with two bands or something?
Bands in way of sense, I assume music. I am no way, shape, or form in a band at all.
You got something coming up. I'm like with a band, involved with a band, and then I go involved with another band, but I see singing with you.
I did. I studied musical theater in college. And so I love to sing and I love to dance.
Somebody else who loves to sing and dance too.
Would have never guessed.
Your grandfather's laughing. I saw that psychically, and you know it's really interesting. At some point, you've got a connection with Jim Morrison from The Doors.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's really funny because I saw you in a band, but then I see you. You might be doing like some of his music, or you might be filming, or something where you're connected to him, but you're doing his songs. And I'm seeing some cameras. So I don't know if you're like doing some kind of act, or it's being like a reproduction of you playing Jim, or you're just doing his music. But I do see that. It's really powerful. Yeah. I mean, I love The Doors. I think everybody does too. But that
no, they're so good. I mean, I do like The Doors. I love that era of music as well. So I grew up listening to it all the time. So I was like, heck yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have a blast.
That's so crazy.
Your grandfather Bob just told me that.
I have no idea who The Doors are, so.
Really? You've never heard The Doors?
No.
Oh, they're so good. They really are so good. I love their music.
Okay, well, after this, then I guess I have to search.
You have to go listen to them.
This just went right over my head, but that's okay.
I think we should go with the song Break On Through to the Other Side, since we're dealing with the other side. That's one of the songs. Your grandfather laughed at that one. The name Sam also comes up around you, so it looks like you have a good friend, Sam. Do you know who Sam is?
Yeah, he's my brother.
Oh,
I mean, we are really, like, I would consider him a very good friend in the sense of just, I'm so glad that we are friends, and but we're also brothers, because I know that if we weren't brothers, we would not be friends. We're complete opposite people. So it's like.
That's what Bob said. You're completely opposite, but you're close. I assumed he said close, you have each other's backs. That's what he's laughing about. But oddly enough, you and Sam I am have been brothers in every single life. So you need to tell your brother that. That's what Grandpa said to tell you. Yes. And you've.
No, so I knew it. I knew we were a connection, even though when he, we came into this world, I was very upset to become a, second child,
Oh, same. I told my mom I wanted the car to leave, which means I want
I know. Hey, same. Literally same. Like my mom, like literally, I sat on the grass. They got in like the car, and my brother's like getting in, and I'm like, I'm not going.
If it's not me, it can't be he.
Yeah.
Exactly. Can't be both of us. But now we are like, thick as thieves. We are like the best of friends and brothers that I am so happy about.
Oh my God. And you just picked up something psychic because I saw you in like probably mid Europe, maybe 1500 stealing and having fun and covering each other's backs. You and like two other guys would ride in on horse.
I always knew I was a thief, I mean, I'm an actor. We're con artists anyway.
Quick question. Did your dad ever have any AFib or anything going on with his heart area that you know of?
My dad had heart surgery.
Okay, because that's what Krampus said. He said surgery. I wasn't sure if he was saying that. He had it or it's coming up. Yeah. So that actually goes back to a past life too. He was in Rome and ancient Rome took a spear, I think it was a Greek, and speared him close to his heart. Yeah. So sometimes you'll bring past life things into the current,
Like, wow.
I'll call him after this and be like, you were speared.
Exactly. I mean, like, I knew you were speared, crazy times. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you.
I was 8 years old when I found out why you have AFib. Like,
the name Liam comes up too. I think there's going to be a child born through your sister, maybe a grandson or a great grandson with the name Liam or a Lee, like a Lee sound is what I'm getting too. So just keep that in the future. I heard the name Chloe around your sister, I think. No, you. Do you have a friend Chloe yet?
I don't yet. I did. She was an ex.
Oh, that's who he's talking about.
Oh.
Said, no,
So it was like, and I think they met briefly, but like that was really it. So
yeah, she still has a crush on you, your ex-girlfriend. And apparently Grampus is just letting you know that that's how you know he's here, not to mention you mentioned they Bob and then he's going right down. When they talk, you can't hear him as clear, although Grampus doing pretty good today. He said to tell
good. That's good. I'm glad. He's always been a great talker, so he always knows what to say.
Grandmother says he hasn't stopped talking since he got here, just so you know. Is there an Ann connection? Is that connected to your mom? Is it like her middle name or an Ann?
Ann, yeah. Well,
what's the Ann that he's talking about?
Ann.
What's the Ann connection? Joanne?
I don't know. I was like gonna say it was like Megan Ann, but no, it's Megan Lee. That's her middle name, but I don't know.
Lee! Like I couldn't hear it. I heard close to Lee, and then grandchild. I had it in reverse. So your mother's middle name.
I'm like figuring it out. I'm like, I don't know.
Gotcha. So mom's the Lee, your daughter or your sister's the granddaughter. Gotcha, Grandma, you got to slow down. I couldn't hear him. That's
my gosh, Grandma, relax.
Relax, slow your roll.
He says, I'm so excited. I'm just trying to get everybody. He said, this is so great. He said, when he transitioned, he said, it was beautiful. He says, just so you know, when you leave your body, he said, it's a very natural progression. You feel very at peace. And he was greeted by, obviously his parents and loved ones and so on and so forth. And he said, so there's nothing ever to be fearful. He goes, this is our real world. He says, but tell everybody there, enjoy, embrace, do all the things that you want to do. Don't let anybody tell you, differently. Do the things that you feel that you need to do. This is your life. And you know what? He is so right about that. It's good advice from Bob. Did your parents do anything with some plumbing recently or have some water issues, mom and dad?
Water, not that I know. A while back ago, like when we moved from Pennsylvania to Utah, they had there was a whole flooding in that house, but besides that, that's kind of the only thing of plumbing.
Yeah, a big flood. Yes.
Yeah, it flooded the whole basement.
Yes,
and there was
that's what he's talking about. He says a big, a water problem. I'm like, that's either plumbing. That's what he's trying. He said flood. Yeah. He said, boy, he said, what a problem that was. He said, thanks, Bob. He goes, yeah, you never can tell.
That's a good reminder. Thank you.
I keep pointing to him because he's right here. He goes, tell my grandson, I sure look pretty doggone handsome. He goes, no pain. I look like I'm 25. Make sure you tell your parents. He goes, we don't age over here. He goes, it's tough on the other side. He goes, it's tough getting old. He goes, but over here, you get out of your body. You're back to the healthiest. He says, a lot of women are chasing me, but he only has eyes for grandma. He said.
That's good. That's good. I mean, 50 plus years together, he should only have eyes for her.
He doesn't want to get in trouble. Is there a Jean in the family too? Or is that somebody Graham's connected to? Is that a friend of hers? Jeannie?
I've got a Jim. That's my grandpa. That's my mom's dad.
That's the other grandpa coming in. Oh, that's why I heard Jim earlier too. I heard some Jim because kept saying Jim, 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 Jim. That's Grandpa Jim trying to come in.
That's not Jim, but it's Jim.
Yeah,
Close. Maybe he
Exactly.
likes it. I don't
I kept
know.
saying Jim.
Yeah,
Jim.
they might like it. I don't.
And I did say Jim a minute ago. I think he was
Yeah.
trying to come in. Yeah, because they're all coming in. Stop talking over everybody, Bob. He's doing pretty good too. The boys are having a good time. He's staying out of trouble to the best of my ability. I don't think so between you and I, because on the other side you have bars and restaurants and things to do. They're having a good time. So in the big scheme of things, you got great things ahead of you. I did see marriage. I do see a lot with your music coming up. Your career house looks good. When one door closes, another one's going to open up. You're very good about networking. People really like you. Nothing ever holds you down too long. So I love that. A little bit into your stomach area as you go through life that you may have some issues, like different dietary issues may not agree with you. So just some areas to keep, mindful of, but your lifeline looks very good, very fulfilled. I love what I see. And both your grandpas are so proud of you.
Well, Jake, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully that gave you the peace and closure that you needed. Karyn, thank you. Spirit, thank you. And we'll be back for more. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
We are so excited to be partnered with the Sweet Whisk for August and September. And so we have a Karyn Reece box, which I'm so excited about. And half of the proceeds go to Hospice Buffalo. So many people in our lives have been touched by hospice. My family in particular, within the last year has definitely been touched by hospice services. So we wanted to give back to them. So we have the Karyn Reece box. So each of these are $16 and half of the proceeds go to hospice. So we have a vanilla blackberry and a lemon coconut, which are Karyn's flavors that she created.
Delicious, but I didn't make them, obviously.
No.
These are the best bonbons I've ever had.
Chocolate's so good. And of course, what's even better, we're working with Kenny and Amanda, such an amazing cause to give back to a cause that has done so much for the Buffalo community for a very long time, and it's finally time that we do what we can to give back. So all of August and September, please come into the Sweet Whisk on Chandler Street, Suites 315. You can pick up your own boxes. You can also order for nationwide shipping. You can find them on social media, on their website, the Sweet Whisk Boutique. And then we also will have a tag on our website, KarynReece.com. So thank you guys so much. Enjoy. Think of us when you have your delicious bonbons.
And let us know more.